Let me see. Oh, let's scoot him up. Usually can't tell how the camera is going to be until after I actually have it on. Anyway, all right, so we're going to do an outfit change. I really love my little sleeveless harem style rompers. And I call them harem style. They're called harem style because they're baggy right here. But I'll probably put some of these back on him. Most likely, when it gets a little bit cooler, and then I can put a onesie underneath. So we'll see about that. And I'm just gonna chit chat, you guys, while I change this baby doll. We'll talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on here in the Reborn doll community, not necessarily as they pertain to YouTube, but but just in general. Hi, Ariana's Reborns. Hang on, let me grab my tablet so I don't have to tippy toe to see comments. Okay. I was having a really quiet and relaxing because I was just so busy this week and yesterday. My daughter was she had a homecoming game. Well, the homecoming dance was yesterday, and then there was a game on Friday, and we had just been so busy with homecoming. She did get nominated for a homecoming court. She didn't make it all the way, but it was still kind of nice because it was a new school for her. So just being nominated was kind of cool because she, in the short time that she'd been there, she felt like she didn't really know too many people, but everybody's been really welcoming to her. So, hi, Jackie. Hang on, let me get to this really quick on my tablet. I want to be able to see, not that the comments come fast and furious or anything. I just want to be able to see the comments. And hi, Jennifer Luke. Yay! I really haven't been live, and I haven't been doing any pre-recorded videos. I prefer the live because I can do it kind of impromptu, and then we just free flow here. I'll change a doll or change an outfit. We'll talk about whatever, whatever I feel like talking about. But I'm glad you guys are here to hang out. So I'll just be talking about, hi, Warrior. So, yeah, so we had a lot of things going on. I mean, of course, there's always the whole counterfeit issue. You guys have seen my community wall posts. You see my shorts with a little tongue in cheek with the shorts. And just things that happen that are not going on really necessarily on YouTube. A lot of the time that I spend in the community is mainly on Facebook. And I really like Instagram for the pictures and stuff like that too. But there's been like the counterfeit debate, if all things that are toxic are identifiable in the scent of them, versus what sculptors that have had their dolls produced for many years before the counterfeits came along and stole their sculpts and manufactured counterfeits and sell them on Amazon and AliExpress and wherever else they sell them, I think Etsy. So there's been a little debate and controversy over that. Actually, I kind of talked a little bit like via comments under like a discussion, a little bit with Ping Lao. She still maintains that they're toxic. A lot of sculptors still maintain that they're toxic. There's the debate whether, and I did a little poll on my community wall, and I just basically posed the question because there are so many things that we still don't know, that a lot of people, we need evidence of. I'm going to throw my support to the sculptors when it comes to the counterfeit issue, mainly not because of the toxicity. I don't need scare tactics to do the right thing for myself. I just do it based on my integrity and what's right and good for the community as Reborn hobby and the sculptors that shaped this hobby into what it is now. So that's what mine is, more of a moral stance and solidarity with sculptor stance. I don't need the scare tactics in order for me to be convinced. They are out there, and most of the time I'm just repeating what sculptors have said, and including Bountiful Baby have said about the blank counterfeit kits that are floating around out there on the internet. So that is the counterfeit thing, but lots of things changing here. Earlier this week, I know you guys probably saw, I'm going to start changing him. Let me show you what I'm going to put on him. I actually ordered this like a while ago, and Warrior wants to know if I ever thought about, I'm actually going to bring him on today. I have him set here where I can grab him. Have I ever thought about changing Bolo to be a girl? I don't know if you talked about this before. I think the way he's reborn would look really cute as a girl too. I sometimes see Scarlet. I mean, I know Scarlet, the sculpt itself, like the real baby that it was, the doll was sculpted after, is a girl, is in fact a girl. I have to open my window. It's hot, and I closed it because it's warm, actually. I closed it because of the car noises outside. And I think my neighbor's kid started practicing his sax or something, his saxophone, so it was really noisy. But anyway, I actually have had Scarlet as both in different dolls, because I think I've owned something like 4 or 5 Scarlets, something about that number. And I did have a Scarlet once as a girl, where I would kind of change back and forth whether I wanted Scarlet as a boy or a girl. But I think what I do a lot, and this is the honest truth, like when I go for like a vinyl doll or a sculpt or kit, whatever, I tend to be attracted to ones that I feel I can have as a boy. Very few sculpts that I've bought because I can envision or picture a girl. So yeah, I do think that Scarlet, I don't know so much about my Bolo because I really do enjoy him as a boy, and I got him made as a boy for me because I see, for me, like I said, I'll usually buy a doll or a sculpt based on whether or not they would make a good boy. And I think that has to do a lot with the fact that I like dressing boys more than I do than I like dressing girls. So I hope that answers your question. But you know what's funny though about, back on Scarlet really quick, you know what's funny about Scarlet is that I actually fell in love with the kit and the sculpt when it was presented as a girl. I remember the initial photos by Bonnie Brown, who, when she first revealed the new Scarlet sculpt, and it was still in clay. I think it was still in clay, or maybe, yeah, it might have just been like the first reveal of like the vinyl that finally came in. And I think she put like a little dress on her, and she looked beautiful. And I'll never forget that, because I always remember that picture of Scarlet in her little dress, the photos that Bonnie Brown put out when Scarlet first came out. So I do think that kit particularly works both as a girl, which is a girl, and a boy. Okay, so I think I'm gonna change, actually, where did I put that diaper? I think I might change. I was planning this top to go with some pants that I already have. Some like little, um, I think I'm gonna put this diaper on him. These pants that I already have, but I don't know where they're at, but it's been still a little bit warm in my parts, my part of the world. So I don't know where the pants are. I didn't even pull them out because I decided just to go with like a t-shirt and a diaper look with this top. So this beautiful print, I bought this like about 2 months ago, and I was really looking for a like beige color, kind of brown color, some neutrals, and something that I feel like I can put on my girls as well. So I feel like this kind of is fluid for both boys and girls. It has a little penguin print on it, so we're gonna put that on him. And I got the scratch mittens because I always get scratch mittens to match. I'm like obsessed with scratch mittens. I have a lot of them. So I'm glad that this seller did the scratch mittens as well. Let's take this diaper off. And let's put this one. Oh, it's not exactly, I wish I had a brown one. I think I'm gonna buy a brown or tan or beigey cloth diaper. I have one that's kind of beigey, but it has a print, and it won't go with this. So, but I like how poofy and chunky this is. I like my chunky cloth diapers. But yeah, so we had, let's see, I went over the counterfeit thing that I wanted to say, and then we had the other thing, whatchamacallit, the whole situation earlier this week with the Genesis heat paints. I already knew, like I already own dolls that weren't painted with Genesis heat paints. I know when I was new, I thought that I also believed that that's all that existed was the Genesis heat paints, but they're not. So because it's like one of those things, like, you know, somebody uses it, works really well for them, and then it, you know, it becomes popular to paint with what is known, and then everyone teaches it with those heat paints. So a lot of classes and courses have been taught with using the Genesis heat paints, and so it was very prevalent to be using the heat paints for so many years here. I mean, McPherson's has air dry paints, so there's alternatives. There's always been an alternative to the heat set. I'm not an artist myself, but from what I understand, the consensus is that everybody prefers to paint with the heat set. I, however, have artists that don't paint with Genesis heat set paints. The majority of my dolls are made with Genesis heat set paints, but I've had artists that paint with, look how cute he looks in this. I love the colors. That paint with air drying. And I will be bringing a baby on to show you. Ooh, these are kind of small. I think I got them in newborn, because once I got some in 0 to 3 months and they were really big. I think that would be really difficult to put on him if he was, see, this isn't, I got this in, the mitts are in newborn, but I probably should have gotten 0 to 3. The top is in 0 to 3. There we go. There, he's so cute. So yeah, I have a few dolls actually that were air dry, and the artists are really, really good, or this particular artist is really, really good at using air dry. And I know that I saw posts on my Instagram and stories of artists that I follow, and mainly a lot of like American artists that I follow that were a little bit nervous about using air dry. Some of them saying, you know, if they're, you know, as soon as I run out of my Genesis heat sets, I'm going to quit reborning, or I'm going to only paint silicone now because I just don't want to learn how to use air dry. So there's that, you know, that I saw, you know, some of the whatchamacallit, what do you call it? Like the talk around, you know, some of the talk that was happening around the fact that Genesis heat set paints were no longer going to be produced. And I think it was, they were no longer going to be produced because of lack of being able to, not lack of, how difficult it had become to get the ingredients that they needed in order to make the heat set paints. So there was some complications with that, and so they just decided, as it got harder and harder to obtain the ingredients they need to make those heat set paints, they've made the decision to discontinue the Genesis heat set paints altogether. So that happened. Then, you know, just a couple days, I had already known because from another friend, collector, where her artist had told her that it was no biggie for her. This artist was in Italy, but that artist had told her, you know, well, I already have a supplier for a different kind of heat set paint, which I kind of figured, because as I started Googling stuff for vinyl dolls and stuff, I did find other sources of, you know, heat set paints if you're an artist and you're like dead set on using the heat set paints. But today I saw Bobby Barfoot post through her Reborn's page on Facebook that they have a new supplier, not for Genesis, but for another heat set brand that a lot of other artists in Europe, I suspect maybe also in the US, I'm not sure about that, but you know, there's other artists that have already been using another brand of heat set paint. So Reborn is going to be importing this this heat set paint for us here in the US, for artists here in the US, and for whoever else wants to buy from them. He looks cute in just a t-shirt and a diaper. But hi Christine. Yeah, we are. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing well. Long time no chatty. Yeah, so that is what's going on with the heat sets, but there are air dry, and I'm going to bring in my air dry baby so that you guys can see. I actually own several. I understand like the fear of not, you know, the time that it might take to learn something new, but you know, it's good that there are people like Bobby in the community that they really do things that are like constructive towards or conducive to keeping this hobby, you know, going. And I mean, it's much appreciated. So, you know, it's good that someone's going to be importing that here, at least I know for North America. I don't know about the rest of the world. So let me bring this other baby on, and I've got to think about let me pick an outfit first before I bring him on. I need to think about what I want to put on him. I want to be able to put sweaters and like warm weather clothes, but I don't because, oh, I think I'm going to put these jammies on him. But I don't because it's just so warm here. But you know what? I guess it doesn't matter. This is all pretend anyway, right? Oh, maybe it's too soon for this one. Sometimes I like to put Like, I like to see them casual or cozy in like jammies or just a t-shirt and a diaper, but sometimes I like a full-on ensemble, like a full-on day clothes for them. So let me grab something. We're gonna do it. Okay, so I have something here that I think I want to put on. Oh my gosh, he looks so cute. So this is a baby painted with Genesis Heat Set paints. This is my, I call him Matthias, but he's the Levi, and he was, when did I get him? I want to say last year, but I could be wrong. I have a hard time keeping track of when I actually got certain dolls, but I'm going to bring him up close because he looks so cute. Doesn't he look cute? Okay, we're going to switch him out for another babe. I photographed him a little bit in this outfit. So this guy, this little one, this is Polo. It's a Scarlet by Bonnie Brown. And he was painted, or he was reborn with air dry. I don't remember the air dry paints or that that were used specifically. I'd have to look at his paperwork because the artist did send the paperwork that had all of her like what mohair she used, what paint she used. So she did like a really nice comprehensive explanation of everything she used. But this is an air dry painted bibby. For those of you who are, you know, kind of afraid of it, I guess, or worried about having to learn to use something else. So I think he looks great. This, let me take his outfit off, and I'm going to put an outfit. I don't know if I should put this on him. I'm thinking of putting this on him, but I don't know. I don't know if I want like a full-on outfit on him. Oh, does this one come with socks? Oh, it does come with long socks. Should I see him in something cozy and comfy, or do I want to do a full-on? He always looks really cute in like sweaters and stuff. We'll do the 4-piece set just for the sake of the 4-piece set. So let me take this off of him. So yeah, this one was painted with air dry, and I didn't even know until I read the material that the artist sent with him, because I just, and I may not be alone in this, I just assumed he was Genesis Heat Set because a lot of artists use that. So it wasn't, I didn't even ask, but I remember when I first started in this hobby, and artists would advertise their dolls on, they would advertise their dolls for sale on eBay. And you know, when you're selling something on eBay, you want to be in the description as thorough as possible, and and I think also it has to do with its marketability. That artist would list, or anyone who was selling would make it a point to, you know, let people know this doll was reborn using the Genesis Heat Set paints. So I think at some point it was also popular or known for being good, you know. Um, and it became popular because a lot of people started using it, and word of mouth was like, this is great, and everyone was using it. So I think sometime when I first started collecting, like I said, sellers on eBay would make it a point to bring up what was used to paint the doll that they were selling. So and then for the past 7 years, that's probably the prevalent paint that I've mostly seen everyone using. I had no idea that this one was painted with air dry paints. He looks really fabulous. He's very detailed. I love him. He's gorgeous. So I have to say that I don't know. I just think both are great. I've experienced both. Supposedly, I think McPherson's is what I saw has air dry paints. So they also have a disclaimer. Do you guys ever notice the disclaimer at McPherson's? There's a disclaimer that always tells people, it's like, we are not responsible for what happens to your dolls if you use heat or heat dry paints on it. I think I noticed that also on Marita Winter's website. There's also like a little disclaimer on there letting people know that the vinyl is not intended to take heat, something like that I read on there. So I have to go back and read it and quote it exactly, but I remember reading something to that effect, that they're not responsible for, that they recommend air dry paints, and, so, even though it says that, though, I know a lot, I know McPherson sells Genesis heat paints, believe, and I also know that Marita Winters, since I use those two as an example, does send her dolls out to prototype artists, her sculpts out to prototype artists who paint with, heat paints. So, it's known. So just, just things that I read and saw there, which, I didn't put too much thought into until, look how cute he looks like that, until this latest situation that the community had this week. Okay, so I showed this outfit probably something like a few months ago. So it's kind of warm, but I'm going to put it on him anyway. But there he is. Okay, so I'm going to take these. Let me get the nail clipper so I can cut these off. Okay, so let's cut some of these tags off. So this is a 4-piece set. I got it at Next. I don't do a lot of shopping at Next anymore, not nearly as much as I used to. I do prefer my handmade things a lot more. It's because I try to avoid, for myself, not everybody has to do things the way I do. Disclaimer. I prefer myself to have things that you're not going to see on every channel or every Instagram page. So a long time ago, I started buying a lot of handmade rompers, like the one you saw I just took off of Matthias. And that was the way to go for me, so that I could have as much unique outfits to present for everyone here as possible. Oh, how cute. Hadn't looked at this. Let me unbutton this. How adorable. So I got this in 0 to 1 month size. That tends to fit most of all my babies pretty good, except for like the 18-inch babies that I have. So this 4-piece set has a pair of socks, little knee-high socks. It has a onesie with a cute little cheeky bear. Look at those little pink cheeks. So that's totally adorable. And sorry about that noise. Okay, so this diaper is gonna come off because I think I'm gonna put a thicker diaper on him. I'm gonna put this one on him because he tends to wear like newborn a little bit better. And I think it really has to do with his body, his cloth body. His chest, because of the 3/4 arms, his chest is a little bit more narrow. I mean, you have his shoulders, but what's really cool and unique about the first edition Scarlet body is that the caps on the shoulders are not as bulky as like the other 3/4 arm cloth bodies that you would find at other Reborn doll, suppliers. Because I've had other 3/4 arm dolls in the past, and I couldn't do the bodies that they came with. No matter what supplier I would buy it from, the caps would be so bulky, like just fat, and they look like, they were ready for some Monday Night Football. So like they were going to play on the Monday Night Football. So American football for my international viewers. So the caps on the Scarlet body and his little chest are a little bit more narrow. So I like that. I really love that detail to this cloth body. So when I was looking for another Scarlet blank kit, because I was going to have one reborn, it was really important to me to find the blank kit with the original first edition body. And I know I've talked about it already before on my channel, but some of you guys are new here, but I've talked about that long time ago when I had my first Scarlet. So I really do appreciate that it came with this custom body, and other artists do that too. I know Nikki Johnston did like custom bodies for her Delilah, which was a beautiful little body. So I think Laura Lee Eagles does that sometimes too. Let's put the diaper on first. And it's nice. And plus the little bum is a lot more narrow too. It's still gathered, but I like that it's narrow. It looks more realistic to me. And all of that contributes to how your dolls, how clothes will hang on your dolls. Okay, so let's get this party started. Let's get this on. I have another similar outfit to this one, but it's in brown. Yes, brown. Has a brown sweater. I don't remember if it has, I think the collar is has like a little stitching, a little bear stitching or something like that. I'd have to look at it again. Love it on him. Oh, this is cute. See, I needed the bulkier diaper on this little guy because 0 to 1 month is a little bit more baggy, but I also feel that next first size for him is a little bit too tight, although he can probably get away with it. He's gorgeous. Okay, so has these shorts, and they match the collar. Kind of like a grayish blue gingham. It has two different shades of blue. It has like a light blue and a darker blue. Well, it's not dark blue, but two different shades of blue. Let's get that on him. And you see, I knew these would be bigger, so that's another reason why I wanted the bulkier diaper. He's dressed like he's gonna go somewhere, right? He's going somewhere. Oh, these colors look good on him. Let's put his little socks on. Adorable ribbed knee-high socks. Where I guess if I put it all the way up, I don't know if I would do like the baggy socks or little slouchy socks, because it seems like it would be too casual, but I don't know. We'll try it pulled up like this, okay? Ooh, this leg bends a little bit. Just, it's a little different right there at the back of the knee. Oh, he looks precious. He looks precious. All right, let's get the sweater on. Ooh, I'm hot. I'm hot just looking at him like this, but I mean, it's cute just like that too. So this sweater is really cute. His cardigan has a nice knit, like a braided knit. And it says "Next Baby" on the buttons. They're really stepping up the details. And let me just take, this has all these quality control stickers on there. I don't want those falling off and sticking to him. Make sure I got them all. Okay, so this is going to be tricky here, because I don't want the sleeve getting pulled down. So we're going to do it like this. Do you guys remember doing this? Like you go inside out and grab the hand? This is what we're going to do here. So we can grab the sleeve won't slide down. See, this outfit would be better if it had short sleeves. Don't want them necessarily pulled. There we go. Look at that. He's bundled up. We're going to do the same here. Just grab the sleeve in hand. There we go. That's a chunky sweater there. Very chunky. Oh, I don't even want to cover that little bear up. So cute. Oh. There we go. Oh my goodness. Such a cute round face. So I posted on my community wall. I did sell my Denver Rose by Severine. I sold her to a friend in the community. I don't know if she wants me to say who she is, but maybe she'll let me know and then I'll tell you guys another time. But I did sell it to a friend here in the community. I also sold Maggie, which was my pen. I sold him, and also to a lovely person who follows my Instagram and I think watches some of my videos, and also has been very vigilant about pointing out like people using my photos. You guys, that's happening on, I know it's happening to everyone who has like public Instagram, because it definitely it's not, I don't post pictures unless it's in a private group of my dolls on Facebook. So a lot of my pictures are being stolen and people are setting up shop with my pictures of my dolls and claiming that they have them and trying to sell them to people. So you can never be too careful. Anyone who's bought a doll from me in the most recent, like past 2 years, knows that I have contracts with my cells. I also don't communicate, I don't discuss any cells. I don't discuss them exclusively on Instagram or on here at all. I don't discuss them here at all, but I do always ask for you to email me, and that way, you know, we can go over the contract and any of the cell terms and information that are necessary. So be careful out there. There's, you know, the counterfeit situation here is causing a lot of uncertainty, not just for first-hand sales, but for third and fourth-hand sales. There's a lot of fear of people, you know, getting dolls that might be knockoffs and not being told that they're knockoffs. I mean, this is all because people support the counterfeit market and nothing else. That's the insecurity that, you know, that it causes, and it even brings into question the, you know, the legitimacy or the authenticity of non-fakes. So it's, you know, the internet, it's not just in the doll community that scammers try to set up shop, but you can never be too careful. When we're definitely a growing community. It's not a mainstream community. It's kind of still a niche community. I don't know. Sometimes I actually was contemplating that a little bit. I was thinking about that a little bit. The fact that reborns have become so popular, whether it's to adults or because of the children, the fact that it's become so popular is, I have so much stuff here, kind of makes you so the reborn dolls have become so popular, right? So that's why they're popular enough for, you know, unscrupulous people to want to manufacture fakes to sell, to profit off of, you know, on eBay, on Amazon, and on AliExpress. So yeah, you can never be too careful. They're out there. But there are a lot of people who like fakes and want to buy them. Are they also undermining? I mean, there's the people that accidentally buy them, and I understand, you know, okay, it was an accident. But then there's people who, you know, consciously, you know, they know, and they buy them. I don't know why exactly. I've never been one to partake in like counterfeit stuff, whether it's been purses, shoes, clothes, like brands. I guess maybe I don't like personally when things get I guess when they've cheapened things, because the counterfeit's not cheapen price wise, but they cheapen the integrity, they cheapen the hobby and everything like that. So there's counterfeits out there, definitely puts a lot of doubts in people's minds. It definitely causes a lot of uncertainty, but you'll just have to be careful, you know? That's all I can say. Luckily for me, like, I haven't really been in the mood, or I haven't really seen any new sculpts that are coming out, with the exception of one. that I've been waiting for a while. And it's not my Denver Rose, because you guys know Denver Rose came out, I think, in 2015. So I think that I haven't really been liking any of the new sculpts, and in part it's because my favorite sculptor isn't producing any new kits. So I guess it's a good and a bad thing for me. Oh, there's a little bit of right there. I guess, like I said, it's a good or a bad thing. I don't know. But this outfit looks cute on him. I don't know if I should just button the top and then, because I like being able to see the little bear. But for me, that just basically slowed down the desire to have any new sculpts made. I have been more interested in silicone. And cost-wise, as far as the prices are concerned, silicone for me seems smarter for the time being. And as you know, there's a lot of counterfeit silicones out there. I mean, there's counterfeit Levi full body silicones and stuff, but I feel, you know, personally, like those are more easily identifiable. So I'm not like worried about that. And yeah, so I've just been really into looking for full body silicone. I do have a full body silicone right now. Well, I have my Tristan by Ulrika, but I also bought a blank. So that one's going to be getting painted in February, and I'm really excited about him. He's super adorable. So I'll be shipping that one. But cost-wise, like the cost to paint, I found a really great artist. And the cost to paint that little guy is going to be cheaper than it costs to buy a, and this may be a popular opinion, okay? But it is cheaper than what it's going to cost me to, it's gonna be cheaper than what it would cost me to get what I want as far as realism of my vinyls. But at the same time, that's not really the bigger thing that's like making me not want to buy vinyl. Mainly it's because I feel like I have the vinyls that I want, and nothing new has really made me feel like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. I have been spoiled by Bonnie Brown's proportions and her limbs, so that's where I'm at. That's just basically where I'm at. Hi, Debbie Argust. Debbie says, I'm new to Reborns, and after watching some YouTube videos, I'm afraid to buy off of eBay. Yeah, I would be careful with sites like eBay. I don't even recommend eBay. Look, there are established artists like Bianca Franca and, you know, Sylvia Esqueda and Alexa Calvo, Jacqueline Kramer. They tend to put like their prototypes for sale on auction. So, I mean, watch for those artists, follow the artists, see what they're doing, where they're selling, how they're selling. Outside of that, I don't recommend eBay. And I know a lot of people still rely on eBay to sell secondhand, but honestly, I really think that now reborns.com is probably better for that. Although, I mean, to buy and join reborns.com, you just have to sign up. To sell, you can do the free account, or you can, you know, pay a fee. They offer different tiers, and you can pay a fee, and then, you know, you can put as many dolls up for sale. So, but like anything you're buying on the internet, and you're not able to see and touch and look at and hold and all of that good stuff, you just have to be discerning, be a discerning buyer, and and just be careful. But I totally understand you, Debbie. Like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like these counterfeits and the people, the advocates for counterfeits, and they are creating a lot of uncertainty in the community. And it's not, it has a ripple effect. It's not just my money, my business. It's not. I mean, as much as yeah, technically it is your money. You spend it how you want, but it has effects. It affects the community, affects everybody. So it's not just like, it's not a harmless action when you decide to buy a counterfeit. It has a lot of ramifications. There's a lot of consequences to contributing um, to the counterfeit market. And you guys can argue, everyone, there's that argument like, it's my money, I'll spend it on what I want, I just like dolls. Fine, you can keep those arguments and you can have those arguments. You can stand by that, and I'll continue to stand by that. It isn't a harmless action to buy a counterfeit. There are consequences. There are social consequences. There are economic consequences. There are, it affects this hobby is not just, it's like oh my gosh, I'm going to say it's like it's a community, and it affects every aspect of it. I understand, and I fully understand that people buy them by accident. And I even understand the point of view that some people might think they're nice, I guess. I would never, I don't know, to me, this is just me, but like psychologically, I couldn't, not just morally, but I don't like having fake things. I don't have fake Dooney and Burks or fake Coach bags or fake, I don't have the fake stuff. Like, if I want something that's quote unquote, and I'm not saying that these dolls are all high end, or, because there's all kinds of debate about calling them high end, but I don't personally like to buy knockoffs. So that's just me and the way I want to do things. All I can do is put it out there, and people are ultimately going to do what they want to do. And there's always going to be social consequences to what people do, so it's just the way it is. I say things that people totally take out of context, or they just completely lie about. And in fact, I saw something most recently that I kind of cracked up about, that are just not true. But I put my opinion out there on a very public platform, and there's gonna be people, there are always gonna be people who agree with me, and then there's gonna be some that don't agree with me. Unfortunately, YouTube is in the minority when it comes to supporting sculptors and being against the counterfeit market. So yeah, so we're totally free flowing. I didn't know where this conversation was going to go, and I mainly wanted to show you an air dry painted baby doll to show you guys that it is possible to have nice looking. I don't know how easy or difficult level, like if the heat paints are just easier, or if we're just become accustomed to what we've been only, taught. And I don't know how many air dry paint classes there are out there, like at, doll shows. So maybe that's why people are kind of scared to venture into that. And it's also my understanding that even before I came here almost 8 years ago, there, way before my time, there was, there weren't, Genesis heat paints didn't exist. So yeah, so it also begs the question that maybe the Reborn hobby isn't that important, or isn't making this company as much, money as they want. It isn't where their meat and potatoes come from. It isn't their main source of, you know, income or profitability. You know, they're not making as much profits off of Genesis heat paints in order for, enough to motivate them to find a way. So it begs that question too. It's like, it made me wonder, like, how popular or how mainstream is this hobby actually? So yeah, it's a lot to consider and it's a lot to think about. Let me see. Oh, we'll stay on for like 5 more minutes. I don't know if I want to bring another baby on. I have most of them put away. I have Sagan, but I don't even know what to put on her. Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna bring on I'm gonna bring Killian on real quick. I know, we'll put a cozy outfit on him. He's been sort of wearing the same thing for a while too. So let's move Polo out. And I'm gonna show you my Grayson, who was also painted with air dry paints. This guy was painted with air dry as well. Oh, let's have him look at you a little bit. I think I'll put this outfit on him because his legs seem a little bit longer. Love these little squiggly toes. It's funny, on my Instagram, I posted a picture of this guy. And I got a comment from somebody, and I'm going to show you right now. Not the comment, but sort of like how I had him posed. And I thought it was a little bit funny that somebody put, okay, so I had him like this, okay? Grayson's legs can be tucked in and curled like this, right? And somebody thought it was Levi legs, and I thought it was funny. They're like, did you put Levi legs on Grayson? And it's like, no. Surprisingly enough, he's got a really, really bent leg, as you can see, this one, the left leg, and then this one's has a little bit of a bend, but not that much. A little soccer leg. Or like my friends in Europe would say, football. Not the American football. There we go. So he has very nice, posable, surprisingly curlable, it's the word, right? Curlable legs. Oh, the print on this one is so stinking cute. Hang on a second. Oh, I still have the tag on it. Hang on. So I got this one in 1 to 3 months because I was afraid that sometimes like one newborn tends to be a little bit too small, and some of my newborn size dolls can actually get away with a baggy 1 to 3 months. But this print is so cute. Sorry. Okay, so this one is so cute. It has a lion hanging onto an umbrella. It's like raining lions with raindrops and clouds. It has dark blue raindrops and kind of gray blue raindrops and gray clouds. I call this a coverall. I don't know what they call it, but, and then this one is in 1 to 3 months, or European size, hold on, 56 to 62. And I could probably put this on one of my 0 to 3 month size dolls, but I want to see what this looks like on this guy. Oh, and I got the matching blanket, muslin blanket, but I have it put away. So we'll just take some pictures for Insta. Oh yeah, see? I knew the fit would be nice. There we go. And sometimes a nice bulky cloth diaper will make even the 1 to 3 months. I love when things are a little bit baggy. So this is a little bit baggy, but he looks gorgeous in white. Nice and bright. Hey, Fallen Angels Nursery, thank you. We're just kicking back here for a little bit, changed 3 dolls. Just talking about the week's events, things that have happened this week, some of the discussions that have been circulating, from counterfeits to, but not in a beat a dead horse kind of way, and the Genesis heat paint situation. And I just felt like coming on. So, and Heather is an artist. She's been a Reborn artist for many years. Heather, have you ever used, if you're still on, have you ever used air dry paint? Do you have an opinion or an experience with it? I know Bobby's going to be bringing, Trueborns is going to be offering another brand of heat set paints. But I'm curious to hear from an artist, especially someone who's been here for a long time, what your experience with, if you have any experience, or what you might know about the air dry paints. Bueller, anyone? Okay, so yes, of course, I've experimented with air dry throughout the years, and that Kabelka, and that Kabelka is actually great. So there you have it. Thank you, Fallen Angels Nursery, for that input. I was wondering, I don't know if you were here when I was saying this, but I was wondering, the mat takes time to get used to, but it's really not, but it's really nice. Kabelka is the new heat set. Yes, Kabelka. So I was wondering if you know, the manufacturers of the Genesis heat set paint just weren't making like, they didn't find it profitable enough to, I understand that they were having problems finding the ingredients or whatever it was that they needed, and you know, to make the heat set paints anyway, so they just finally gave up. But I was wondering, like, well, if something was profitable enough for you, would you give up? Would you? If there, I mean, it just begs the question, like, how popular or how mainstream is this hobby actually? And you know, the other thing is that there's all other kinds of vinyl dolls that probably people paint outside of the Reborn hobby that also use the Genesis heat paint. So I wonder if it was just you know, something that just wasn't profitable for them anymore. So they synthesized a brand new formula for it, and they did not get the feedback on the new paint formula, unfortunately, so they decided to close. Yeah. So yeah, so well, the Ultimate Fusion Air Dry is amazing and versatile. So They also they had a major shortage of raw materials. Yeah, that's what I meant. I kept saying ingredients, but you're right. The raw materials is a better word. I absolutely will not give up painting. I'm confident in myself as an artist, to continue to experiment and go out of my comfort zone and create beautiful dolls no matter what I'm using. I was trying to find a way to say that without like being like, I just feel that, you know, I get where the all the apprehension was coming from certain people, like how they just were like, absolutely not gonna, as soon as I'm done painting, I'm done, and people were just flipping out. But I do understand where the apprehension, maybe there wasn't self-confidence or something, in your abilities. But in order, you just have to, like Heather said, if you're confident in your abilities and you're an artistic person, you'll be able to hopefully adjust. Maribeth, Forever Young Little Angels. Hi, Maribeth. Do you know what the issue was with the new formula? I think Heather might have just said that up there. Maybe I thought she said it. Okay, so Heather, do you know what the issue was with the new formula, the Genesis formula? And Fallen Angel says, I have been reborning since before Genesis was even a thing. Therefore, I'm not nervous at all, and I don't think people need to panic. Yeah, neither do I. I think I read it somewhere. I just don't remember what it is, but we'll try to get that information. Debbie says, oh, Debbie's asking, so Genesis is closing. Yes, that was an announcement that they made earlier this week. Let me actually see if I can, I'm going to read that. Let me see. Where is it? This was their official announcement, was from Amico Brent, Illusions Babies. That's what I said. So it says, Genesis update. Hi, bad news, I'm afraid. Due to continued material sourcing issues, Amico has made the difficult decision to exit the Genesis product line. There will not be any additional production. We are aware there may be some quality issues related to materials with the new formula. This information was important in our decision-making process. Your orders will not be fulfilled, so sorry. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. So that was their official statement. It's being discontinued. Yeah, sorry. We got to be accurate with that. They're discontinuing the Genesis heat sets. But there is going to be, Trueborns will be offering the Kebelka heat set paints. It's evolve or die, right? It's the natural order of things. It's evolve or die, I guess, for some artists. Like, you either adjust how you do something and then, hope for the best. And in most cases, it will work out really good for people. So, that's all we can hope for, is just the best. Yes. Oh my gosh. Fallen Angels Nurseries. I hope so. I love that. Fallen Angels Nursery says, I promise I'll master Kebelka and make tutorials. Yeah. And Maribeth says, I'm sad that it went out of business, but now we have kabelka to fall back on, and if not, well, I will have to learn how to paint with air dry. Okay, so Fallen Angel says, yes, quality was not good for an increased price, was very oily and shiny after baking. Ooh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know that. So that was for the person that was asking, I think it was Maribet. I think that's what I was asking. That was what the problem was. So anyway, guys, let me see how long I've been on. I've been on for 70 minutes. That is all I have for you today. I'm actually going to go eat dinner. So we changed a few dolls. If you are interested in what the conversation was earlier, just rewatch the video from the beginning. And I'll see you guys. You can follow me on Instagram, which is the same name as my account, here, my channel, Reborn Higa. And I'll see you guys again. I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right. Thanks for hanging out.